Hey, what's up YouTube and Triple T members? Jeremy Barber here, owner of Trade in the Trend chat room on Discord. There is a link in the video description that will take you into our free members area. And then there's a free 7-day trial from there if you choose to upgrade. So come check us out. Like I said, the link is in the video description. So today I wanted to go over my watch list. I typically put out a watch list on the weekend for the next week. These are plays that, have certain setups and could potentially turn into a trade. It may be a day trade, a swing trade, or they may end up just being nothing at all. But these are plays that I want to keep an eye on next week to see if they turn into a trade for us. So here's how I put that list together, and then you'll also have the watch list for the week. Here it is. Okay, today I'm going to take you through making of my weekend watch list. I don't always search for the same things. You kind of have to play off the market. Like last week was a pretty red week, so I'm going to be looking for some oversold plays or some plays that drop maybe more than others and trying to get some recovery on them. I'm going to be looking for ones that, look like they're starting to reverse. And I'll also have my momentum plays that I typically look for based off of relative volume. So I'll take you through how I find my plays for the watch list. So, like I said, we're going to be looking for some plays that were pretty beat up and possibly looking to reverse. So on the week, I want to go minus 30%. See how many results. Okay, we only got 3 pages of results for minus 30% on the week. So it looks like we could have a little doji candlestick on this one. Average volume is 1.6 million, so that's one that I'll put on the list. This one's down from around 15 bucks maybe a couple weeks ago. Huge gap down. Anytime anything's down that much, I'm going to want to keep an eye on it. We had a pretty solid channel. I'm assuming some sort of news was out. Candlestick on Friday. Could be a hammer candlestick right there. We can see the volume is decreasing, very oversold on RSI, stochastics. MACD is not showing any signs of recovery yet. RSI is kind of starting to flatten out here, but it has to. It's 15 in the 15 area, so that's not surprising that it's starting to flatten out. Kind of same with stochastics. Can't go much lower than 2.57. So, but like I said, anytime there's this huge drop, this is something that'll go on the list as well. Okay, CRMD, pretty large drop. I know that they had a something to do with FDA. Bad news from the FDA. You can see huge gap down from around 15 to 9. So that's a pretty large gap. Looks like it's starting to recover. RSI bounced off of the 30 line. No signs of recovery on MACD. Stochastics, you're about to get across. You're at about 5. Not much short. Floats around 32. That's something that will go on the list as well. Pretty nice hammer candlestick right there. You can see it closed right on this support line right here. Average volume only 216,000. It did have huge volume, over 1 million on Friday, but usually I'm not going to trade anything if the average volume is under 500. Those are very risky because you might end up with some days where you get 50 to 100,000 shares traded, and that's basically no movement, and you can't sell unless you're going to sell for a loss. Yeah, I'll put it on the list for now. Could be finding some support. Looks like 43 area from this candlestick right here. The wicks of these 63. Yeah, we can go ahead and put this on the list as well. And what I'm really looking for is I'm looking to see a candlestick that would be a reversal candlestick and sitting right on support if possible. Like this one, I see a bunch of reds, and that's nowhere near a reversal candlestick. Also, recently, either it's a new ticker at minimum. I don't know if they were a SPAC or if this was IPO. I don't know what that is, but that's not enough chart for me. Could be a little hammer there, but not. It is sitting right on this blue line of support. Yeah, only 5 million float. That's one I don't really want to mess with right now. Anytime you have something with a tiny float like that, it's going to be very volatile and often leads to low volume. I don't think average volume over 600, so not bad, but whenever the float's that low, you can get some pretty bad days, and it makes it hard to sell. Okay, so we're up around 95 area, 93, hit actually 100 on this day, or right up near it. And we are down to 26, so this thing's been cut down. It's lost about 75%. Stock price, stochastics 2.87. You can see how they crossed and they're starting to go back up a little bit. RSI is starting to curl back up. We're still under the 30 line, the oversold line. MACD's not showing anything yet, but we did have this green candlestick right here that engulfed this one. So I would call that a bullish engulfing. So this one's definitely on the list. I don't really see stochastics. They're starting to touch. RSI hasn't even started flattening out. Got 51 million float, does 2.5 million shares a day. From 55 down to 23. This could be a hammer candlestick right here. I'm just not seeing much else other than that, so that's probably one I'll just leave alone. Same thing with this one. Could be a reversal candlestick. And the thing to remember with reversal candlesticks you really need to have confirmation the next day, unless it's a green. If this was green, you know, that's different than this being red. I would want confirmation on this one. If we get a green candlestick next, then I would call that a reversal. But there's just not much else telling me that it's actually reversing. Around $15 down to 20 million float, average volume of 1 million. I'm not seeing any signs of reversal except for the stochastics have just completely flattened. Not really much movement. MACD still trending down. RSI, I mean, it was pretty steep decline there, so it started to flatten, but it hasn't even got to flat yet, still pointing down. Not a strong enough candlestick for me to do anything. You have a whole dollar support at $2. Looks like it's what it pretty much bounced off of on Friday. Yeah, I mean, that's a big drop, but I don't really see anything else. So that was our tickers that were down 30% on the week. Next thing I want to look at is, to clear that out, I want to find plays with the RSI is oversold, 30 or under. That gives us 33 pages of results. So I'm going to go in and put in under 30. We're down to 18 pages of results. And then I want to see what's actually starting to reverse or may have given us a reversal candlestick on Friday. So the performance is up. Today up, which would have been Friday because that was the last information that it was getting. And that brought us down to 5 pages. So that's much more manageable. So again, these are RSI oversold and possibly given us a reversal candlestick with being up on the day. Don't see much there. Again, pretty new chart. Don't really like it. Here's one. You can see we have some support at 3. This blue line, we closed just below it. Nothing's really, I mean, RSI is starting to turn up a little bit. Stochastics, actually, you're starting to get a little bit of a divergence. Starting to move back up. I'd still want to see another confirmation candlestick after this one, but we can put it on the list. Okay, so this candlestick right here is what's called I would call this a dragonfly doji. A dragonfly doji is where the open and close is as close to the top as possible, and that's close enough. I mean, we had it pulled back all the way to 715, 710 maybe, and closed up over 8. I mean, that's a huge long tail. So this one is one that I would definitely want to see. With it being a doji, I want to see the next candlestick for confirmation. So it's one to go on the list. Let's see, RSI starting to turn back up. MACD not showing anything. This starting to flatten out. Yeah, the indicators don't look good on it. So again, with us waiting for the next day for confirmation, that's fine. It doesn't hurt to be on the list. 81 million float. Average volume of 1.4. Yeah, we'll put it on the list. See what happens tomorrow. Okay, so this one, we got a nice green hammer candlestick right here. RSI is showing a rebound. MACD, signal line kind of starting to flatten out there, but not really, still heading down. We got a cross on the stochastics. We are still oversold. 15 million float, it's pretty low. It's going to typically be more volatile. Short float, 36%. That's a huge number. That automatically gets my attention. That's a huge percentage float, or a short. Charge point, so it looks like they are EV, something to do with EVs. Okay, they were a SPAC. I believe, actually, I think this was SBE previously. So, again, and 25 would be support right there. So this was one that I'm definitely going to put on the list. Looks like it can, you got shorts piling in. If we get a reversal, they're going to have to start covering quickly. So definitely put this one on the list. Jen, we had that on the other scan. Really see any of these that are looking I don't like that candlestick. Went through a little consolidation. Looks like it could be breaking back up. This chart looks very choppy. Yeah, there's no information on it. Yeah, not interested. This one was holding this support line pretty well. You can see once it finally broke that, went down to 1050 area from 1450. RSI starting to flatten out. Our stochastics starting to turn back up. MACD not. This would be closer to a dragonfly doji with the right at the top, the body of the candlestick. So this is another one. Let me see. Got 66 million share or float. The short 23, so almost a quarter of the float is short. Average volume close to 3 million. Did just about average volume on it. And whenever you're playing an oversold, you don't necessarily have to have higher than average volume for a reversal. And oftentimes you won't see it. So the volume's more important for breakout plays than reversals. This is one we'll definitely go ahead and put on the list. Again, these may turn into trades. These may not be anything, but going through and getting this watch list, then I can take it and do a little bit more charting, maybe get a few lines of resistance and support for each of them. That way, if they do turn into trades during the week, I already have a plan pretty much together and, ready to go. I'm not trying to scramble to figure out my support and resistance lines and, what news may have been causing the drop. Again, we're looking at, or maybe it wasn't anything that caused it. Maybe it was just the market sell-off that caused it. So I already have all that information on the weekend, where I have a little bit more time. So this one, stochastics starting to turn up. RSI, nothing. Broke support there. I don't really see much there. This chart, too many gaps. This is probably a very thinly traded ticker, not much volume. Okay, OTRK. Yeah, that we put that on the list from the last scan. So we got two long-wicked candlesticks right here. Huge gap down from about 1750. I guess it's not as big as this chart makes it look. This is probably 88 million. RSI is starting to rebound. Ideally, after seeing this candlestick here, I would have wanted a little bit more of a confirmation candlestick here. But again, something I think that's worth putting on a list. It doesn't hurt to have it. Again, not enough chart for me there. Here. Again, could look, it looks like this is consolidation to me. And, you know, who knows, maybe it breaks down again. I don't really see enough there. Yeah. It's okay, so those are all the ones that may be oversold. And the last thing I want to look at is maybe some momentum plays. So I want it to have been at least up 5% on Friday. In relative volume, I'm going to go, well, I'm going to look at this over 3 to see if we have, so we have 4. I typically don't look for this high. These, if they do turn into trades, these will most likely be day trades. So here I see a good chart already. This one had a huge gap down. Don't necessarily like the chart leading up to this, but we had a gap down right at 10. So once we get above the wick of this, and I guess there's still not much. I mean, you're looking at $1.75 potential there on that gap. It's weird to see this huge candlestick close up at the high, and then we opened up way down here. Not sure what they do. Yeah, an offering. So that's what caused that. It's definitely something put on the list, showing strong volume. Got a lot of resistance. Nice candlestick here. Obviously had huge volume, huge flow, 163 million shares. Yeah, I'm not going to be interested in that. Ears, I know, had huge movements on Friday. Most likely that's not going to turn into trade. Same with eyes, those two, but you don't know what's going to happen. So those are one that if they're getting volume, you know, there's potential for that to continue and to see a move from that. So it's worth having on a list. IMAX, that's a huge candlestick right there, but once it broke over this 22 would have been, you know, where you would want to be to give you a good risk to reward. Now it's, I mean, you're way past that. not something I'd be looking for. This is a bull 3 times share. Yeah. There's one. I don't like these little bitty candlesticks. Yeah, it doesn't have any information on it. This one looks like it got some volatility. Ran all the way up over 5, around 520 from a low of just over 3 on the day. So 122 million on the float. That's surprising that it moved like that with that large of a float, but not something I'd be interested in. WTI, I know that was the oil. It's had a strong couple days, so definitely could turn into some sort of day trade, or maybe even a short if it reverses. And that's it. So I've got 15 different tickers that I've found that, you know, have charts that could provide a trade for next week. Something to keep an eye on. I'll have them on my watch list and see if any of them set up. So I hope this video will be helpful to you to see what I'm looking for. Like I said, the first 2 scans that I ran wouldn't be typically something that I would do, especially lately, because we didn't have anything that I needed to look at that was going down. But that's what the market provided us this week. So those are the scans I ran. And there's many others that I've ran. Just depends on what you're looking for that particular week. It could be a big earnings week, so you could scan for ones that have earnings coming up. You know, it could be a week where all the ones with huge short floats were running, so that would be something I would run, that you can run on Finviz. You know, there's many different things you can look for. You just have to adjust it each week to go with what the market is given. So I wanted to make this video so you could kind of see, you know, my thought process when I'm going through a scan and setting up this watch list, and you'll be able to take this and adjust it to fit, you know, what you're looking for or types of trades that you like. So thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so that was me creating the watch list for this week. I will have those tickers posted at the end of this video. And hopefully you learned something and you're able to go through and start creating your own watch list that may be better suited to your style of trading. Again, it really helps during the week. If I have these tickers already on watch on the weekend, why not go ahead and do a little bit of the homework, you know, find out the supports and the resistance, or what news may have caused the drops or the moves, or what upcoming catalysts they may have. That's things that, you know, you can do on the weekend to be better prepared for the week, and, you know, save a little bit of time, because, you know, a few minutes could mean a lot of money. So anything that you can do now, go ahead and get it out of the way and be better prepared for the trading week. I hope you found the information useful. You learned something. Thanks for joining. Good luck and stay green.